Hey guys, hey, this is Anne Marie, the anti-HR HR lady, and I just wanted to say, weigh in on this whole bear versus men versus, women situation or question that's been floating around. And yes, it's probably a week or so old, but I've been thinking a lot about it. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm still in bed, but I was thinking about it and decided I wanted to just weigh in on my particular take, especially from a human resources perspective, a workplace perspective, about who are you safer with at work, right? And in my personal experience, and in that, based on what I hear from clients and potential clients, um, the most dangerous entities to work with in corporate work environments in the United States are white women. And this has been my personal experience, but also based on, the conversations that I have with clients and potential clients. I would say a majority of the Black women that come to me with problems in their workplace, the majority of them are coming to me because of interactions and problematic interactions and discriminatory treatment that they're receiving at the hands of white women. And this is not to say that white men are not a problem, because at the end, they are the builders of the white supremacy system, and all of it, most of the things that we experience in American society flows down from white patriarchy, right? So I'm not letting white men off the hook by any case or in any event. But what I am saying is that in the current corporate work environments, white women are the most dangerous to deal with. And I think part of it is because as women, we expect that other women wouldn't be as dangerous, and so we let our guards down. Now, I think most Black women have now learned to have their guards all the way up with white women, right? But some of us still haven't learned a lesson, and most of us have learned because we got taught a lesson somewhere along the way. We learned that even though initially we would like to think that we're all sisters and we're women together, that's not the way that it works, and that white women can be extremely dangerous, and they weaponize niceness and they weaponize their tears to get their way in the workplace. And they will stab you in the back if you even halfway turn your back on them, and cause all kinds of problems. And so I personally have had so many negative experiences that I could write a book, right? And so when I saw this whole thing about the bear and, men and whatever, I thought to myself, they're asking the wrong question. The question that they should really be asking is, for people of color, especially Black people, if you were in the forest, would you feel safer if you encountered a bear or a white person? And for me, I'll take the bear for 1,000, Alex. I'll take the bear. I'm taking the bear as a woman. I'm taking the bear as a Black woman. I'm taking the bear as a Black person. I will take my chances with the bear before I would want to deal with a white person, even in the forest, because they'll be the one calling the police, trying to figure out what you're doing there. Why are you there? Then when you point out the fact that they're out of control, if they're a white woman, they'll start crying as they call the police and say how you threatened them. I'll feel much safer with the bear, encountering the bear, than encountering a white person in the forest, in the park, in the grocery store, whatever it might be. But in the workplace, I would say that I feel even less safe in situations where I have to deal with white women than anyone else. And that, again, is not saying that white men are not problematic. It is just saying that in my particular experience, in work environments, corporate work environments, white women have been the ones that were the most problematic for me to deal with. They're the ones who would attack my communication style. They're the ones who would claim that I intimidated them, that I was scary to them, and all these kinds of things, simply because I was direct. I told the truth. I didn't play favorites, right? I didn't play games with people. I didn't talk out of both sides of my mouth. And that made a lot of them, quote, uncomfortable, unquote, because they have been socialized to pretend to be nice, to cry to get their own way, and to lie. to get their own way, right? Bat their eyelids and lie to get their own way. And I have found that when I was dealing with them is when I always had the most problems versus when I was dealing with white men, right? Or men of any race. I had less issues with in the workplace than dealing with white women, and frankly, followed by women of other ethnic groups like Asians were very problematic, and Latina, and then followed by black women. I found my working and dealing with women to be problematic, and working and dealing with white women to be the most problematic, right? Versus dealing with men in the workplace. I'm talking about the workplace, right? But if the question is, who do I cross paths with in the forest? Any white person would be suspect to me. In that situation, I'm taking the bear. But in the workplace, the most suspect has always been white women. If you're black and this has been your experience as well, tell me about it in the comments. If it hasn't been your black woman and this has not been your experience, tell me about that in the comments. I would love to hear a good story about people behaving in ways that would be more acceptable in the workplace. I would love to hear if you did not have that experience. But pretty much when I sit down and get with any group of black women and we start sharing our war stories, the Karens, the Beckys, the Kristens, the Kathys, always, right? And some of us might have a Brad and a Ken and a story, but more of us have Karen, Kathy, Kristen, Becky stories. And that's just been the reality. So when the question, of the bear and the white male and the white woman come up, I'm taking the bear first and foremost. But if you give me a choice with who I would rather deal with in a workplace between a white male and a white woman, I'm taking the white male all day long. The white women are the ones I would never, they're the reasons why I left corporate America and why I would never go back. It's really not white men. Never had any really significant problems dealing with white men. I always just found that they were most interested in my ability to do my work and to get things done. White women, on the other hand, seem to have absolutely no interest in my ability to get things done. They were always dealing with places of their own inadequacy, about feelings and how they felt and whether they liked me or whether they liked what I was wearing that way, and whether they liked whether the tone of my voice when I said something, and all these other things that had absolutely nothing to do with my work product. And so I just found them to be extremely difficult to deal with in the workplace. And so I really wanted to weigh in on that question of who do you want to deal with and who do you feel the least safe with? And I would say in the work environments, I always felt the least safe with white women. Tell me what your experience has been. I would love to hear it. This is Anne Marie, the anti-HR HR lady. HR may not be your enemy, but they're definitely not your friend, but I am. See you in the next video. Bye.